Interestingly enough, in the course of the week, the Democratic Freedom Party, popularly known as the DFP, led by Dr. Obed Asamoah, they finally returned to the NDC. What really culminated into their return? What were some of the issues that got them to leave? And what really got them to come back? Tonight, I have on the show the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations, Mr. George Lawson, and he will be helping us to do justice to some of the issues that probably might be bothering your mind. Good evening, Mr. Lawson. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Good evening. Thank you.
How are you doing?
By his grace,
I can tell that there's a lot of smile on your face with the return of the DFP.
Yeah, definitely. If you have your brothers and sisters who've gone away and they've come back, you must be happy.
Now, I would want us to look at the program that took place earlier this week. But let me find out from you what really went into DFP leaving the NDC.
So many factors. One of the factors is talk of there was not enough democracy in our party, and for now they have accepted that there's we have democracy has deepened. We've deepened democracy in our party.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, that's one of those things. That's some of the factors or that precipitated their departure from us, and now there's that sort of internal democracy that they said the party lacks.
At the time they were leaving, what was going through the mind of the NDC as a bigger party?
You know, politics is about numbers. So if you have people leaving you, you'll be worried. But we were a little bit burdened. But all the same, we had to stand steadfast. I mean, all those things for us to stay focused and then win the 2008 elections.
Now, I would want us to look at the major issues of their return. But there are those who would say that indeed their return, their departure from the party back in 2006 did not really have a telling effect on the party, because when they left, their results or the results that they got in the general elections did not really reflect that much or have any serious impact on the party. What would you say to persons like that?
Oh, there was an impact. It's not only the presidential, at least some numbers were lost. If you take the parliamentary election, there are places that we would have won if the DFP had not gone away. Laura Namdong is an example. Bidzid contested on the ticket of the DFP, and Dr. Kumbo contested on the ticket of the NDC. If you look at the numbers that, or the figures that Bidzid got, added to Dr. Kumbo, would have taken that seat and other constituencies.
Okay. Now they are back, and you have wholeheartedly received them into your fold. When did this whole negotiation about getting the DFP back into the NDC start?
It all started way back in year 2010 during...
Oh, not too long ago.
Yeah, during the death of our Northern Regional Chairman. It was at that forum that our President, His Excellency, Professor G.A. Mills, initiated them. He met Obed Asamoah and some of the DFP members in Tamale. And then that was the beginning of many things to come.
You would want us to share more on that?
Oh, not really, not really. I mean, it started, that was where it started from. And later on, Dr. Obed Asamoah met the president at the castle, and then a committee was set up. From the DFP side, we have Bidzid leading that. From our side, we had one of our vice chairmen in the person of Kofi Portoffe, and then my boss, the general secretary. They spearheaded the NDC side, and it took on. They met on several occasions to iron out their differences or how to bring the two parties together again, or bring our brothers and the DFP back into our fold. And got so good, reasoning prevailed, and today we are saying that.
Now, Around that time that meeting was going on, I'm sure when the announcement was first made that the Democratic Freedom Party was coming back into the NDC, there were those who said that, of course, the meeting did not really involve the rank and file of the DFP at the time. And so it did not really reflect what the generality of the membership of the DFP thought at the time. And so thought that maybe it was just the leaders who were interested in coming back to the DFP and not the entire DFP as a party.
I'm not sure that is entirely true. What he saw on Tuesday tells you that it was not only the leadership of the DFP, so many of them, all in terms of all the regional executives and other executives, all present at the joint press conference on Tuesday. And that tells you that it was not only a few people who initiated that. It was the whole DFP, because after that, they had to take it back to their party, their National Executive Committee meeting. They deliberated upon it, and I'm sure it went to the regional executive committee, then the constituency executive committee, I'm sure, because ours was the same. And then later on, they reported back to us at the functional executive committee. We took it to the NEC and blah, blah, blah. And that's what we're saying today.
What is involved in the comeback?
Oh, nothing. They're coming back. And so you just have to, to see how best we can integrate them into our fold.
Is that going to be a difficult?
Not at all, not at all. We've ironed out all the difference or what we're supposed to do to reintegrate them into the NDC fold.
And how is the integration structure going to be like?
It's going to be like, at the national level, 2 members of the DFP will be co-opted on the National Executive Committee, 2 at the Regional Executive Committee, 2 at the constituency levels. And those who were not NDC members at the time would have to now go for their new membership or seek the new membership. And the old members would have to now go and pay their dues.
Mm.
Yeah.
At the local level, is it clear what roles they really played, both parties really played in getting the support of both parties to agree that we're indeed coming back together as a body?
Yes, this was taken at the highest level. We have the National Executive Committee, the second highest decision-making body of the party. So they represent the interest of all the entire party. We have the highest decision-making body is Congress. For now, we went to the second highest decision-making body. So we have representation from regions, and then it trickles down to the constituency, and then to the to the branch levels. So whatever is done up would have to be communicated to those down below. So I'm sure that has been done.
It's exactly 39 minutes past 6, and this is Majority Caucus. Remember, it is live every Tuesday and Thursday right here on Multi TV. Remember, we set the nation's agenda. Tonight, we're looking at the return of the Democratic Freedom Party into the NDC fold, the Akatamanso family. And we're looking at how the party, the bigger party, the NDC, is taking the news. We're looking at the function that really saw the return of the DFP into the NDC. Now, I would want to find, before we look at last Monday's event, I would want us to, Tuesday's event, I would want us to look at, the DFP was formed somewhere in 2006, thereabout. Yeah. But we've gotten other breakaways of the NDC, and I'm sure listeners, viewers would want to find out why you've not concentrated your effort at getting the likes of Reform and others also have similar event or function so that they can register their comeback as well.
When you talk of other breakaways, if you talk of Reform, they're already on board. All of them are on board. Guzitano, Mijay Bano, and they're all on board. They have come long ago, and we didn't make any noise about that. They're already on board, helping to make sure, helping the Better Ghana agenda become a reality.
What will be the difference in this year's election for the NDC as they enter, considering that now you have the DFP on board? Yes,
the DFP on board now. We have people who are who are experienced people, they will bring their expertise on board. So that would also going to help us. And you know, politics is about numbers. Every vote counts. And again, expertise. The likes of Obeda Samoa, Bid Zedin, they are experienced hands. At least we can tap from that experience. We cannot just throw those experienced hands away.
There were the likes of Frances SCM who also broke away alongside the DFP.
And she's no more a member of the DFP.
Mm. And will it be fair to also say that we have similar Frances SCMs in the DFP who have not come back?
Oh, I can't say so.
Mm.
I can't say so.
Mm. Mm. Now, I would want us to look at last Tuesday's event. How was the event? How was it organized? What went into the organization?
Oh, it went very well. We had both sides. The two general secretaries spoke. Dr. Obeda Samoa spoke. His Excellency, the Vice President, John Dramani Mahama, also spoke. Mm. Our national chairman. So it was really, it was a memorable occasion.
What was the focus of the General Secretary in his remark? It
was a joint statement. So it is not the General Secretary of the NDC. It was a joint statement by both General Secretaries. But two of them cannot read the statement at the same time. So that's why my boss was elected to read the statement.
The President was not there?
The President was not there. He delegated the Vice President to represent him on that occasion.
Mm. So now, I have heard critics say that there's nothing new, there's nothing to be excited about DFP coming back to the NDC. I'm sure your critics have said this several times since the announcement was made that there's nothing really exciting about the DFP coming back to, because if you look at their performance, even in the elections, it doesn't really have any telling effect on the NDC should they go for the elections in December.
You know, in life, anything you do, you have critics. So it's a fundamental human right. They are free to express their opinions. But I'll say to us, the NDC and then the DFP, there's something to gain. If they are politicians, they know politics is about numbers. So we know what we are going to gain. It's not only the numbers, but the expertise that they're also bringing on board. It's going to help us a lot.
Well, he says there's a lot to gain. I'm not too sure what it is that Mr. Lawson is actually trying to arrive at. But tonight we've been looking at the return of the Democratic Freedom Party, DFP, into the NDC. What does it mean to the NDC? What does it mean to members of the Democratic Freedom Party itself? And of course, what chances are they likely to create for themselves in the upcoming December election? Tonight, my guest, Mr. George Lawson, he's Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations for the National Democratic Congress. And we have been looking at the return so far. Now, before we went on that break, you were talking about the NDC standing to gain a lot from that return. You talked about numbers. Apart from numbers, is there any other thing?
Yeah. Experience. We have experienced hands in the DFP. Bidze, Dr. Obeda Samoa. We have Neo Kanja Adamufiu. We have Ishmaelite and others. They are experienced people. They've been in this game for long. So they're bringing on board this experience or expertise as well. Mm. So we're going to gain all these things.
Is the founder aware of their return?
I'm sure he's aware. I'm sure he should be aware.
Will the founder be excited about their return?
I cannot speak for the founder. I cannot speak for him.
Now it's become very clear that he's not likely to be part of the campaign this year from the look of things. How prepared or how has the NDC positioned itself to be able to take up the role that he played back in 2008?
I've always been an optimistic being, not pessimistic. There's nothing impossible before God. I'm sure come this campaign, I'm very optimistic that reasoning will prevail and he'll be part of us. I just don't want to be that pessimistic, and I have never been. I've always been optimistic. And as a human being, you must be optimistic, not pessimistic. And he has not said anywhere in recent times that he's not going to join us. We're waiting, and I know that God will make that possible.
Is there any special role that these names that you have mentioned that have come back, is there any special role that they are going to be playing for the NDC come this campaign?
Definitely. Definitely. We are yet to set our campaign team, and definitely they will play roles. There are roles that they're going to play. They're going to be part of the campaign, the national campaign team. So definitely they will have roles to play.
Now, it's very interesting how your critics are actually looking at this comeback. It doesn't seem to be a worry for the NDC at all, does it?
Why should it be a worry? Other than I wouldn't have organized a joint press conference to announce the coming back of our brothers and sisters. Why should it be a worry? We are very optimistic. We are very focused.
I'm asking this because, yes, there are those who would say that when they were leaving, the kind of utterances some of them made and against the founder and all of that, and they thought that if these people are going to be brought back, they needed to exercise some level of caution. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
You know, in life you can't have anything 100% or perfect. We're all striving for perfection. The critics are allowed to make whatever critique that they want to. But the fact is, I reiterate what my boss said, we are focused. In politics, in life, you have to forgive and to forget. If you decide not to forgive and to forget, then life will not be the way you want it.
How do you want those at the grassroots level, your supporters at the grassroots level, to take this news that DFP is now part of the NDC?
Normal. Once we have embraced them at the top, we've already sent that message down. It has been accepted. We consulted our Council of Elders before. We initiated the move. After the president issued, we consulted the Council of Elders. They gave us the blessing. Then we took it to the second highest decision-making body of the party. That's the National Executive Committee. And it was approved.
You did not consult the grassroots?
No, from the National Executive Committee, it goes down to the grassroots. The National Executive Committee is made up of all the regional executive committees. So from there, it trickles down to the constituency executive committees, then to the branch level. So that is how it works. It's the structures.
Is the comeback not too late? Is it not at the disadvantage of members of the DFP itself? Because I'm sure most of them, or some of them who contested on the ticket of the DFP at the parliamentary level, would have wanted to contest again. Looking at the time that this announcement was made and this comeback ceremony was held, is it not to their disadvantage?
Not at all. You know, the DFP called an extraordinary Congress to dissolve that party. And long ago, how many months ago? So it's not to their disadvantage. They are aware of it.
Why did the president, why was he so concerned about having the DFP back?
You know, the president is a peaceful person, is a peace-loving person. He's somebody who tries to forgive and to forget. And based on that, he initiated a move. In life, you must try as much as possible to forgive and to forget, so you can move forward. Vengeance belongs to what? God, not to us. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you would move on. The president wants us to move on as one family. We all belong to one family, and some left. It's better to bring them on board, and that is what he did. And I commend him for that.
How about the rest who are still out there? You don't think that is
who are
necessary
those
for
out
the
there?
president?
Who are those
the
out
likes
there?
of the former president?
They are on board. It will interest you to know that it was the former president. He initiated this before. He also initiated from a different angle to bring them on board. He sent my other deputy to see Dr. Obed Asamoah. So it was from two angles. And at the end of the day, reasoning prevailed, and today we have them in our fold.
Of course, I'm happy you are saying that, but there are numerous young people out there that are now working so much for the party, I'm sure, and they don't seem to be too much of the focus. You're rather interested in the old folks. I'm sure that one would want to know.
We are not interested in the old folks. The DFP also have young ones. They also have young ones. We are not interested. And here, the DFP coming, but they're not coming to take anything from anybody. They're not coming to take anything from anybody. So the focus is not. Once they were part of us, and they've decided to come back, are you saying we should deny them? Not at all. That would be fair. That would be suicidal. The prudent way is to just accept them back into your fold.
Was there any special conditionality?
Not at all. It was a free will.
To have them back?
Yes.
And there was no conditionality?
No conditionality.
Your gates were just open?
Very, very open.
The
more
principles
than open.
and ideals?
More than open.
Well, you are still live on the Majority Caucus. Remember, it's the Thursday edition, and I am sitting here in the hot seat. My name is Peter Bamfo, and I am here in the studios with the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mr. George Lawson. Remember, pretty shortly, we will be opening the phone lines where you can join us on 0302 117014. 0302 117014. Or for those of you who cannot call but would want to send us text messages, remember the text line is 1760 1760 across all network. Let me say special greetings going out to all those watching us up north. I'm told that you are loyal viewers of this very, very, very event. And I'm sure Mr. George Lawson has been missing off our screens for a very long time, and so you are having a feel of him this evening. We have been looking at the Democratic Freedom Party and their return to the NDC. What do you make of it as you sit at home and observe events unfold? Mr. Lawson has been helping us to look at some of the issues that are likely to come out. Now, Mr. Lawson, the founder is reported to be unaware of this latest development. How true is this claim? Because this is a claim that was made by your other colleague who is now on suspension.
I'm also not aware of that claim. I don't know. He has made it, but I'm also I don't know anything about that.
But you claim the founder initiated a move from a different angle to have the DFP back.
Yeah. So he made a move to he sent Kofi Adams to Dr. Obed Asamoah.
Now that the DFP is back to the NDC, the NDC has constantly been worried about some of the remarks of the former First Family. How is the NDC going to position itself now that you have these old hands back on deck towards the December elections?
We are focused. We are strategizing, and then we'll come out and we'll let the whole world know how we're going to